Hi, Neil. Thank you so
Uh,
much for being with us on this event, Eat Brands Wellness, the first virtual Eat Brands. So it's a pleasure to talk about wellness with you. And Six Senses is a reference, not only in the business, hospitality business, but all around the world, right? And and to start, the first question is about this, how to find our balance and how Six Senses can influence their travelers to increase their quality life.
yeah. Well, hi, and it's good to see you again, and thank you for having me. And I'm really pleased to chat with you all about this because it's a passion for us, as you know, at Six Senses. I think balance is an interesting word, right? And you know, each country, each group of people has their own version of balance. But when I look at what's happening today, and certainly how we are coming out of this COVID pandemic, I think it's given us all pause to really think about what that means in our life, and in fact, what does balance mean
Mm-hmm.
to all of us in our life, and certainly at Six Senses. We take a view on that in as much as our properties are in fabulous places, and you know, great environments, and we love remote. We want people to go far and see things, but and as you know, we have this really strong platform of wellness and sustainability, but
Mm-hmm.
certainly wellness, and I think our view on wellness is that we don't want to be preachy about it. The same with sustainability. We want people to go at the level that they want to go at. So the type of programming we offer up, we think, in fact, can create a kind of balance for each person in their individual point of view around how they want to live and so on. So we encourage, as you know, we have a lot of programming around sleep and food and yoga and meditation and aging and so on. But we don't want this to become like going to a clinic, because for us the balance is to continue to enjoy life and to have fun and really connect with people, and we'll perhaps talk about connection in a bit, but really to go at your own level, to be aware. I think COVID has certainly created an added degree of mindfulness in everybody's lives, that we think about things, we think about the things that perhaps we didn't think about before, and we're behaving in a certain way. And I really believe that this is a reset that will support renewed balance in our lives, because it will have us step back, take stock of what's been going on and how we live. And certainly at Six Senses, that's the way we approach things at our properties. And so far, that's proven successful for us.
Yes, super successful. I can share one experience that happens with me when I go to a census, and you know, just because I'm there, I feel that I start to see the destination with other eyes. You know, I start to realize and talk with that people, because the team in each Six Senses, most of them, they are from that area. So share, share stories, talk with them, understand, so respect the others more. And the food, how we eat and what we eat, and see, because, for example, my boys, they are human boys, unfortunately, they live in an apartment. So go to Yaonoi and go to take the eggs with the chicken and bring these eggs to the kitchen, you know, to have the breakfast. This is amazing because they don't know. So there is some experience and very subtle way, in a subtle way, and it's so amazing that involve us as a guest, you know, that when we come back, we try not only the sense, but we try to do in a different way. It's like a transformation every time that we come back. And even start to walk every day in the morning, because it makes sense and make me feel better, you know. Drink lemon. One doctor in Six Senses, he told me, you know, it's very good for you if you drink leather, squeeze lemon.
In the morning, yeah.
Yeah, so small tips, you know, it's not radical, because it's not something that when you go back home, you will never do it again. But
Yeah.
there are some small things that change our lives. And this is amazing. This is amazing how Six Senses in this subtle way can involve, and there is a balance. I was talking with Six Senses about Six Senses Lamu, that not the most biggest villa in Maldives, right? But we have an amazing villa, an amazing location, amazing food, amazing service. So we have all the balance. Because many people ask me, why it's so like you love so much Lamu? Why all the Brazilians go to Six Senses Lamu? You know, because everything, it's so good. There is a balance there. So I love this idea. I love the idea, the way how you value the communities. And this is another question, and how actually to become a successful company developing a model, a sustainable model, and involving the communities, the local communities.
But you know, when you talk about Lamu, you know, as you bring it up, I mean, the balance is all the things you said, but it's also the fact that, you know, we have a manta ray research center, you know, that we taking the ecology of the water and you know, marine life seriously, extremely seriously. We have marine biologists on site at the hotel. We work with local community to bring fresh water, you know, to places around Lamu. So it is the things you said. It is the beauty of the environment. It is the food. It's the things that we offer. But these other elements are really, really important to us. And when you ask, how do you become a successful company in that world, it's very much about culture. It's very much about the DNA of an organization. I mean, you know, Six Senses has been in business for what, 26, 27 years now, and was always talking about sustainability right from the beginning, you know, long before anybody knew what that word meant. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about regeneration, mm-hmm. right? Even coming out of the way. But so consequently, it's very much part of the DNA of the organization. It's not something you know, you can wake up to tonight and say, tomorrow you're going to be a sustainable company. You know, it has to come from a very honest place within, and with the right intention. Because if you have the right intention, that will become part of the DNA of the organization. It will help define your culture as a group, and then you just get going. And not every move has to be a big move. Just like you were talking about your kids and the eggs. It's a fabulous thing and it's a great story, but it's one small element, and the small things are okay. We don't have to change the world with everything that we do, but as long as we continue to go down that road and take care of the small things and get these takeaways, any organization could do it, but it has to come from the top, and it has to come from the right place within.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Super, super. And Neil, I do believe that brands like Six Senses, when I feel part of the family. So when we
Yeah, you are.
so when we are in a destination, means that we are we have a conservation work there. So if we are not there, maybe these lands will not be fertile or good enough or like this preserved for the next generation without a brand like Six Senses. There are some in the world nowadays for sure, but I do believe that hospitality and sustainable luxury tourism conservation comes to go in a place, in a destination, to conserve that area, and we help to that area to conserve and not to take off all the right. So and another thing that you said, the people that work, the DNA, the team in the properties, it's so it's in everywhere. So these they, how can I say, they communicate this to the clients, to the guests, not communicating, but it's like they share this in us, and we feel it. We just feel it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's the young people today, it's the millennials, it's perhaps a little bit older, that are driving this agenda, and thank God they are, and it's interesting today, particularly when you hire people, in many parts of the world, we call them hosts, but employees will ask us as managers or brand owners or whatever, what is our green policy? How do we feel about sustainable practice? Because perhaps we don't want to come and work for you, because unless you have a position around that resonates with us, we don't want to be in that kind of organization. So it's kind of turning upside down somewhat. So apart from it being the right thing to do, and apart from having a strong position around sustainability and wellness, which frankly today are the same in many ways, come together, it's just good business. So it's win-win for everything.
Everyone. Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm not so.
Go ahead.
I'm not so young, but my portfolio, the companies that I represent, they are all sustainable companies. They are all believe that conservation, it's one of the main, the main points of the companies. I work with companies that just don't care, sustainability needs to be one of the highlights of the companies. So this is the world and how we are managing, right? Please tell us about the Six Senses plastic free, this project that is so like big achievement for the whole hospitality business.
Well, it's a huge initiative. It's kind that you call it an achievement. We haven't quite achieved it yet. But we're on our way, right? We're on our way. Six Senses was always one of the first to take a view on plastic, right? As a group, I mean, I don't think we've ever had, you know, plastic water bottles, for example, you know, with just the scourge of, I don't know what, when you see all these empty bottles and beaches and forests, and I mean, it's just awful. So we've never had that. We've always had, you know, our own water plants where we basically create our own water, very sophisticated and very hygienic water plant. Actually, with water, we don't even bring in, you know, a Perrier or a San Pellegrino, whether it's in plastic or glass or whatever, because we're just not shipping water all over the world. That's more because of carbon footprint, right? But we've never had that. We've never had little plastic bottles in bathrooms for shampoo and conditioner and, you know, hotel amenities. We've always done refillable right from the beginning. Straws we got rid of years ago. You know, that kind of seems to be an obvious one that anyone could do. But so we've always had it's always been part of our our DNA and our operating procedure. But a few years ago, or two years ago, we kind of took a view that we needed to go further with this, and we needed to go further from a corporate perspective. So we said, let's be audacious and let's create this huge initiative that becomes a company-wide initiative that we will get rid of plastic by 2022. So we spent a lot of time, and every hotel, every resort did inventory of every single piece of plastic in the property. And that's a huge task, you know, and honestly, the guest-facing material is actually the easy part. You know, where it becomes difficult is supply chain and back of house.
The house, yeah.
And so on. But we did that, and we've been working diligently for a couple of years to reduce that. We've just had you know, every 6 months or so, we look at the numbers. We're probably around 40% down on where we were, which is really, really good. But what's become apparent, and you'll hear about this soon, is when we look at the numbers, there are 18 items of plastic that amount for probably 60% or more of all the plastic. So as of like a week or two ago, we had our big meeting on this. It's right. All right, we're now going to focus on these 18 items, and with zero tolerance, right? And we're calling them the dirty 18. So literally, this was like 2 weeks ago. So although we're doing well in reducing, you know, 2022 is only, you know, 18 months
now.
away.
Yeah, it's now.
So we're happy with the results, but we now need this huge, huge push to get us close to the end. And, you know, 18 items, when you look at it like that, doesn't really seem an impossible task. So that's the goal for the next 18 months, the dirty 18. Okay. But we're really serious about this. We're really taking it seriously. And it's not easy. And you know, the goal was pretty out there, but I know we're gonna get there, or we're gonna get really close. So it's very exciting.
Now, very exciting, very exciting. The dirty 18. I love it. Yeah, it looks like nothing, but it's,
yeah.
There are some items and some things that is difficult, really difficult. And who travel and experience Six Senses, I super recommend to talk with your GEM, your guest experience maker, that will be with you, and to show you the back of the house. I really do recommend. And the recycling, the some sustainable projects. It's an amazing tour that you never imagine that all this happen in that area. So you feel more proud to be part of it, and will be another, this for me, it's another highlight to choose a Six Senses on the next destination that will be, you know. So
you know, you talked about Six Senses Yao Noi and the eggs, but actually Six Senses Yao Noi is the first of our group to actually have a 100% plastic-free kitchen. So our chef Walter at Six Senses Yao Noi really embraced these initiatives, and for the past 12 to 15 months has been working hard to eliminate all plastic from a kitchen. And it's really difficult when you think about it, and how you have to cover food and hygiene and
conserve the food,
serve the food, and things like how the French chefs or the chefs love to cook sous vide, where you put the food in a little plastic bag and steam it, and it's very nutritious, and it keeps the value of the food together. But we're using, I don't know how many thousands of little plastic bags every year. We said, no, you can't do it. Find another way to. So the chefs are like going crazy. Not debatable, right? You have to find another way.
Super. No, this. Okay, I'm with you. If you need something from my side to help with the Dirty A team, I'm here. Okay. And Six Senses have been receiving for 3 consecutive years the best hotel brand for travel and leisure Words Award, right? 2017, 2018, and 2019. And we have been talking during the last minutes about how Six Senses can make a difference, can change the lives from the community that are in that destination, and can change their travelers' lives. So maybe I know the answer, but do you know, from your feeling, why do you think Six Senses were receive 3 years consecutive award?
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, has never happened before, right? With the Travel and Leisure Awards. No, it's never happened before. And it's so interesting to me, because when you look at our competitors, all right, some are what we would call traditional luxury brands. Some are more boutique in nature. And I kind of look at us. We're more boutique than we are a big brand, but we're growing as well. Everyone tends to talk about the same things today, and I often talk to this subject about how I think luxury travel or upscale has become a little bit homogenous. In many cases it's hard to differentiate between some of the brands. They're all great, they all have great service, good culture, good food, comfortable bed. I mean, all the things that we talk about, but at our level of the market and at our price points, all those things are kind of a given. If you don't have them, you're not going to succeed. So you kind of get a little, okay, here we go again. It's the same thing. So the groups that really make a difference, I think, are the ones that are able to differentiate their story and their narrative from the others. And for us, it's it is wellness and it is sustainability. And I think I'm so proud of all our people, because I do think, and we're far from perfect, you know, there's a long way for us to go, but I do believe we are ahead of the game when it comes to those areas: wellness, sustainability, activities, you know, uh, out of the ordinary kind of experiences. These are the things that make our difference. And when we looked at the write-up in Travel and Leisure magazine, or their digital, after we'd won those awards, you know, they would give like several paragraphs to each winner of something. It was just about wellness and sustainability. That's what was talked about. And then great locations and good food and bum, 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 bum. But that's the story. And that's what has made the difference. And it was so heartwarming for us to think, because those awards are given by the readers, right? Mm-hmm. It's not about advertising. We don't advertise. You know, it's write-ups by and send-ins by the readers, and it's just so touching that what we do seemed to just continue to resonate with that demographic, who are absolutely our customers. So we were so excited about, you know, the first year we couldn't believe it. We go, oh, it's got to be a mistake, you know. And then the rest of the industry was saying, well, where'd they come from? Who, you know, like, what's that all about? So going, well, you know, they got lucky, didn't they? Year two, well, it was like, huh, so you see. And year three, it was amazing. I mean, we never believed it. So I think it certainly did us a lot of good. It made the employees feel so proud, which just helps reinforce culture and makes you want to do even more, right? And from a growth of the brand perspective, you know, developers who build Six Senses, they go, well, this is great, we need to do one of those. So it really helped the company in so many ways. So I was hoping to get the fourth win, but didn't. But yes, we did win something else, right? We won this luxury travel intelligence award that just came out a few weeks ago, that kind of named us the best brand in the world. So we won something. That was good too. So we just got to keep going. It's not about winning awards, though. It's about doing the right thing. Yes. And behaving in the right way.
It's meaningful. The award is meaningful because means that you're doing the right way. So it's good. It's good, the recognition. It's super important, for sure. Yeah. For sure. And the brand is becoming more and more like, as I told you in the beginning, like cozy and nice and fresh and combine with the energy of the Brazilians, you know, because when you go to a Six Senses, it's not so formal. It's super elegant, it's super chic, but it's fresh. You present the destination in a different way. It's much more, it's authentic without being massive, you know. It's like you make us feel unique, not because I'm a billionaire, but because you care about me, you know, and we can feel this. And people that has many things, material things, I say, when you go to a Six Senses and you feel that you are more important than the things that you have, it's incredible what can happen with people, you know. I receive many feedbacks from guests that experience Six Senses, and they said, maybe I don't go because the architecture is more organic and can be more rustic. when they came back, they said, you know, I just want to stay in Six Senses for my whole life because you changed my life, my perspective of how I see the things. And I saw executive men, not
Yeah.
men. The wives told me, my husband, you know, the wives told me. So it's amazing. It's amazing. So the reward for me, it's everything new. It's everything that Six Senses can touch the clients without romanticism, you know, but real.
Right.
It's
Right.
it's
Right.
real. It's a process, you know, and you get addicted in a good way because you want to feel this again. You know, you want to feel this again. It's something,
Uh,
something.
it's very kind. It's very
Yeah.
kind of you.
No,
Mm.
it's real. And can you, and the brand is growing, and
Yeah.
we have been seeing, I have been working with you, I will complete 4 years already in December this year.
Yeah.
So, and the
Wow.
company is growing a lot. And can you talk a little bit the new ones, the ones that have already opened and
Sure.
like to.
Sure. Well, I mean, we opened, I mean, some of the more recent openings, um, you know, last year, we opened Bhutan finally, which has taken us a while to do that. But that's because we have, I think you know, you certainly know, we have 5 lodges there all around the country, and to get them open at the quality we wanted and with the logistics of actually working in Bhutan, which are not simple, um, we finally did it. And you know, last year was beginning, the business was beginning to come in, and then we shut down, right? As we opened the 5th one, which was I think February, we shut down, and sadly it's unlikely that we will reopen until March of next year, but that's just around the corner, and the demand is great. I mean, the lodges are spectacular. The locations of the lodges are spectacular, and just the beauty of the country, and the you talk about authentic, you know, there's just something about Bhutan that is very, very, very real. It's unspoiled. Purposely, the government have had, you know, a position around how many people they let in every year because they don't want it to become mass tourism, and the culture is respected, and the natural places, and the temples, and I mean, it's superb. So I would encourage everybody who loves to be outside as well to experience Bhutan. We also opened in Istanbul at the end of last year, in a little town called Saria, which is a beach town about 20 to 30 minutes from the center of Istanbul. It was the restoration of 2 old little palaces called Kochatash. Beautiful. I mean, beautiful as an urban resort, if you like. I mean, it's not a city center town, in a city, and it's just an extraordinary restoration, which we're really, really happy about. And then we were going to open. We were going to open a lot this year, but you know they've moved, sadly. You know, the next property to open is going to be in Israel, in Shahahut, in the Negev desert, which is going to also be amazing. And you talk about sustainable practice. I mean, that resort was effectively hand built. I mean, it's incredible. And these villas have been carved into the desert. and we have a camel breeding farm there. You know, we've progressed from chickens to camels, right? And with a lot in between. But and so camel milk, camel cheese, or all these things that we're doing there. And I was asked to talk to the Minister of Tourism of Israel, in fact, a couple of nights ago. And he's so excited and talking about, you know, how the next area for development in Israel needs to be the desert, because they haven't done a lot. You know, in Israel, tourism has developed in the mountains a bit, but also on the water. So that's what it's historically been, aside from obviously the religious tourism. But the desert is this extraordinary environment that we need to do some more on. So,
and it's not developed yet, right?
Not really, no, at all. And it's close. You know, we have an airport near to us, so it's not difficult to get to. But once you're there, the environment is just pristine. So from Israel, we go to Ibiza. You know, we're going to open in the north coast of Ibiza, probably, you know, middle of next year, middle to fall of next year. And it's the north coast is very different to the party coast on the south. So even though people don't always think about Ibiza as being very sustainable and organic and with a wellness thing going on there, the northern part of the island is very much that. You know, the whole farm to table movement around food, the ingredients, the yogis that live there, you know, spiritual folks that have landed up in Ibiza on that coast. It's kind of another world from what is going on in the south with all the nightclubs. So that's where we have our hotel. And if you really want the nightclubs, we're going to run the party bus that will take you, you know, at 11 o'clock at night south and bring you back at 4 or 5 in the morning. We talked about keeping the spa open all night long so that when you come back in at 5 or 6 in the morning, you can go straight to the spa.
Wow.
To recover from your trip south. But we'll see if we actually do that. But we're excited about Ibiza, just as a venue to do incredible retreats, we're going to start to do some festivals there and do things that we haven't actually done before at Six Senses. So that will be middle of next year. We should open at the end of next year in India, in Rajasthan. We're restoring an amazing old fort called Fort Bawara, 14th century. I mean, just we seem to get these amazing opportunities and amazing buildings, and each one is very iconic, and we love to do restorations. I mean, we love to do that too, because, you know, whether it was in Istanbul or here in India, or even in the Douro Valley, right? We transformed that hotel, and it's been a great success. And then the last one of the next group will be New York, and I couldn't be more excited about that, because it will, I would say it's not going to be anymore our first urban hotel, because we do have Istanbul, but our first US hotel in Manhattan, on the High Line, on the Hudson River, with our first ever urban club called Six Senses Place, which will be all about wellness and sustainability, but in a fun social environment. We never want to take the fun out of it. That's really important, you know. It's
and it's wellness. Fun, it's wellness, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we have a busy year. We have a busy year.
I will need to receive a lot of trainings, and I hope I can travel a lot.
I hope so.
Personally,
Sure.
And for sure. And Neil, just to end, what's the message could you leave for the Brazilians, to the Brazilians, for us?
You know, I love Brazil and have been many, many times to Brazil in the last 20 years. And the only thing I could say, or I could say a lot to Brazilians, but my message is just continue to be Brazilian. You have as a nationality, and you can never kind of profile, but as a nationality, you enjoy your lives, you know, you have fun, you like to be out, you like to eat, you like to drink, you like to go to the beach, you know, you're about family, you connect with people, and connection, I mean, these days is more important than ever. And you have a life, you live your life with passion and excitement and enjoy what you do. You're great travelers, you know, and I mean, you love to go and explore and do that. To me, how you live is a well life. All right. For sure, there's always more balance, as you started this conversation, that can be done. And we all need to look after those in our countries that are less fortunate than ourselves. And, you know, that exists in Brazil as well. You know, you have those that have and those that do not have, and how we close that gap is a global issue. It's not just a Brazilian issue, but as a race of people, there's nothing wrong with you from the outside. So just continue to be who you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope we meet again.
We will. We will.
Okay. Thank you so much, Neil. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. Good to see you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.